Hello and welcome everyone to the Collegiate Chess League Summer 2025 season. My name is Joe and I am proud to present the final week of the summer season. This is also brought to you by Susquehanna, so shout out to our sponsors. Hello to Silva and to G. Thanks for being here. Welcome in, welcome one, and welcome all. We've got an exciting end to the summer season. We've got some prizes on the line, some membership prizes. This is a cumulative event. This is week 5 of 5. So it depends which schools will end up in the top 10. We've got Silva showing some confidence in their team. Let's look at the players that have been joining so far. And by the way, we do have only 2 minutes. The 2-minute warning here, the 2-minute countdown before the arena begins. So we see at the top here from Canada, from McGill Chess Club, we've got Gene, and then we've got Minnesota State with Secret Photo, and Silva coming in at third, representing University of Houston. Then we've got Surplus from Nepal, Kathmandu University. We've got Austin back again, Northern Illinois University. AK from the Collegiate Chess League, which will not be counting for prizes, unfortunately for them. Looks like we've got LCM Toro tuning back in again, trying to defend their spot in the top 10. Let me actually pull up if I can see. So yeah, I have the standings in front of me here. Wits, Waterstrand, the dominant lead in first place, 224 total points. Wilfrid Laurier University in second with 185 points. Northern Illinois University trailing by 2, 183 points. And they're followed by Syracuse at 181 points, also behind by 2. And then we have LCM Toro. They're in the 5th spot. In number 6th place, there's a significant drop off between 5 and 6. 6th place, Uni Passau Shock. We've got chess at Oregon State in 7th. Queens College in 8th. Appalachian State in 9th. And McGill is in 10th, only by 1 point ahead of Bits Polani. Hello, Dog Cat Dinosaur. Good to see ya. Yeah, if we look at the club standings, actually, it'll show you. I guess this isn't the exact order, but yeah, it's probably my fault for not updating the list. But we do have all the way at the bottom Arizona State, 51, joining for the first time today. So if you think a candidate master is strong, wait till you see perhaps we'll have a national master joining from ASU. But the games are off and to the races. Here we go. Number 1 seed versus number 2 seed. Jay Carlson. Jay Carlson representing Rutgers University. And looks like OSU brought out the big guns today. Spelling checker. That's awesome. 2167. This game looks to me like an Alapin, which is one of my favorite openings against the Sicilian, the C3 Sicilian. Interestingly, we kind of blundered that, so that's not ideal, I would say. This is hit, though, so that is intriguing, to say the least. Yeah, these players may be playing a little too fast. Maybe. Yeah, this is what we call a blunder. Bishop e5 now. Kind of crazy. You don't play that first, and to blunder that is also just kind of ridiculous. But okay, trade, check. Yeah, takes. Okay, interesting. And yeah, we're up a bishop. And we're going to be mating as well. This is mate next no matter what. So Gene getting perhaps a little lucky, but points on the board for McGill University, starting off strong. Let's check in with the candidate master from Oregon State. Oregon State, reminder, is in 7th place. So they're looking to clinch a top 10 spot. And there you have it, folks. Subham joining a national master at 27:01. So we've got 2 titled players. We're up to 34 players right now. Not too shabby. A lot I'm seeing from Oregon State. I see Jacob tuning in from Syracuse. Looks like we've got another player from Houston. We've got Pawnee. LCM Toro, of course. Wilfrid Laurier University. We've got Chess UT all the way from France. Shout out to Minak. And yeah, ASU. I wonder how well Subham will be able to do. Subham is the reigning bullet championship earlier from this summer season, winning pretty convincingly, winning first in both the qualifier and the playoff bracket, and perhaps going for first in this final arena of the summer season. All right, the bishop saves itself and defends the knight. I like this move a lot. From the spelling checker. Meanwhile, what's going to be played? Yeah, I do think white is slightly better here. These pawns are separated for black. It's a little uncomfortable. Looks like the bishop wants to come to the long diagonal, which makes a lot of sense. I'm wondering if the queen can come out somewhere, somehow. Plenty of time for both these players. Pretty evenly matched in terms of rating, at least. So at some point, you're considering one of these c6 moves. But that pawn will become weak. And the pawn's helping protect the bishop, which might also become weak. These rooks, I think, are going to have an easier time coming to the center of the board. So rook to e8. I like this move a lot. Lining up opposite of the queen, of course. Watch out for those discoveries. Always tricks to be had. This is a 90-minute arena, as a reminder. So lots of chess to be played. And also, this is 5+2. That is the same time control as our regular seasons. So we do have the Collegiate Chess League's Fall 2025 season coming up very soon. It will be announced on the Discord. This knight move, revealing the discovery on the queen. We're going to see the queen move, perhaps here. This would be threatening checkmate, but then we could see the counterpunch. So instead, the queen decides to go to g4, pinning the knight, although the knight could go to e5, blocking the bishop and hitting the queen. We can also give up our bishop to trade for the knight. That is always an option. Always important to know. This is a tool in your back pocket at your disposal. But of course, we don't have to do this. Bishop for knight trade. Typically, bishops are going to be favored, especially in this position. I love white's dark square bishop all the way on c3 on the main diagonal, just pointing straight at the heart of black's king, the structure. Keeping this king safe for now. So we'll see. We could see that trade potentially. Bishop for bishop offered. Also a discovery on the knight. Spending a lot of time here, spelling checker. They are checking their spelling, so to speak. They don't want to blunder. But there is increment, so it's not going to be like a dirty flag necessarily. It's hard to play though with just 2 seconds. Okay, rook to b8, getting the second rook onto a more open file. White starting off, rook a to d1, very solid move. Always nice to line up your rooks opposite of the important pieces. Feeling chessy? Hello, how's it going? Black's trying to offer a queen trade. And yeah, under a minute for black. 2.5 minutes for secret photo. Subum still in their first game. Or so it seems. Kind of a slow start here. Only 3 games have finished. Hey, Ryan, good to see you, man. We're getting closer to hockey season. How am I doing? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a little tired, but I've been getting work done. I have a lot of work. Essentially, because this is the Collegiate Chess League stream, I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I'm working on currently. There's a couple of things. As I mentioned, the Collegiate Chess League is going to be announced soon in the next week or 2, with the deadline to register coming up next month, mid-September, with the season starting late September and ending before Thanksgiving, the weekend before. We always do that in the fall season. Also, India registration just finished. So if you're from India, best of luck. Okay, looks like black's starting to bully around this queen here, which is kind of nice for black. I assume we play rook to d8. Rook b to d8? No, the computer says knight to e5. Yeah, knight here is a lot more logical, I'd say. Because after knight takes, queen takes, we're threatening mate 2 steps along the way. Threatening mate is always fun because your opponent might always miss it. They might miss it. 3-on-3 at college level or pro level or beer league. 3,400 in puzzles. That's very good. At the start, you had 2148. That's crazy. That's over 1,000 elo gain. Are you telling me that you have diamond membership? Because that's pretty cool. Semi-pro? Okay. Like OHL? I feel like if it was NHL, you would know. You would definitely know if it was NHL. So maybe semi-pro. Oh, it's on ESPN. That's really cool. Yeah, honestly, I think like I was a fan of what was the NHL? Ooh. Yeah. Queen here. Guarding the back rank. We had the bishop as well, but you don't want to allow that rook check for sure. So watch out. That's threatening mate. Rook or bishop back defending. Less than 30 seconds for both sides here. Getting down to the wire. But I was talking about this NHL video game. Sorry, I got distracted by my chess commentary. Oh, just rook d4. Yeah, I thought black would insert a check, but oh, queen takes h3. Queen takes is a big threat. Missed. Now this pawn is hanging, actually. But there's a check. Oh, no. Secret photo. Getting their picture taken without their permission. Some would call it a secret photo. Spelling checker. Hard fought victory there. Nicely done. Let's check in with Subom. Subom's 2 out of 2. Leading the pack. Both in terms of club standings and individual standings. The Beauty League? I don't know what that is. I should look into that. But yeah, I was going to say, I think, was it 2008 NHL that had Ovechkin on the cover? I don't know. Maybe Ryan would know. Yeah, this is a tactic. We're removing the defender of the pawn, and the pawn's going to fall with a fork, and we already see resignation there from Blackhawk, no less, over 2,100. So Subom off to a strong start, no end in sight, 3 out of 3. Perfect so far. Some randos. Yeah, I feel like NHL contracts probably have to be pretty strict about you playing in other leagues, though, right? Like the Beauty League, which I've never heard of. Aren't they afraid that you could hurt yourself playing hockey outside of the NHL? I don't know. But 07. I was gonna say 2007 probably. Which year was Tarasenko on the cover? But yeah, I think I forgot what year they added threes on Chell. Not the overtime three. Probably maybe they added it at the same time. But the video game version of threes was very fun. Because I remember the game was maybe getting a little stale. Yeah, the stream is not doing a good job. I always struggle, honestly, but yeah, okay, looks like NIU tied with Arizona State with 9 points apiece. The difference being that NIU has at least 3 players getting points, and ASU only has the one, the only, the Subom. Subom. We're following Subom today. Okay, I have an idea of what black is doing. Taking, opening up the F file, kicking away the knight, the defender. Now there's some development needs here for black, starting with the knight. I like this move from white. Pushing, taking. Bishop comes out with the tempo. Now the bishop, it was harder to develop earlier because this pawn was defended. But now black has won a skewer and is looking to trade down. Also, this pawn's defended now that the knight is moved. Forgot to mention that. All right, so bullying the rook. And 4 minutes to go as well. Wow, look at this move. Rook's doubled. I don't know what's going through Subom's mind. Yeah, he trades here very logically. I imagine we're crashing through. Oh, queen trade offered. That's not a bad move. Capican. Oh, bishop takes. Oh, queen takes. That's beautiful. And you don't want to trade rooks either because you're going to get mated next. So resigns is a good idea. That checks out for sure. Brianna Burks. And Dan Doe. Brianna's like 2 seconds. 1 second. Gotta move. That was a blunder. Free bishop for Dan Doe. But does Dan see it though? Brianna representing Oregon State. Yeah, hard to play. The increment, yeah, resigns there. How many points do you need? Well, it depends on what the other clubs get. You mentioned 100 points. That would put you in the top 6 if the other schools aren't getting any points. The good news for you, though, is that the more points you get, the fewer points your enemies will be getting. So perhaps I can check for you. My question is Uni Passau playing? Or Queens College? Or Appalachian State? I don't think I saw Appalachian State playing. Or Uni Passau, for that matter. Or Queens. Where's Queens College? Is Queens playing? Queens is not. They all have 0 points so far. So let's say you're aiming for Queens College. Queens College is in 8th place with 73 points. Would I ever want to live in New York City? I would not rule it out. It's definitely a possibility. That being said, currently, I would not want to live in New York. I feel like New York City is very expensive. And I don't think it's quite for me. I don't think I'm a New York kind of guy. Now, that being said, I think New York would be very fun. And New York has a very, very fun chess scene, it seems. All right, this move is what we call a blunder because now we have a fork. We win a pawn with check, force the king to go uncastled, and now we take the bishop for free with tempo. Queen has to keep an eye over this knight. Otherwise, we will give up a rook for 2 knights. Now you're not getting paired. Did you hit the green pair me next button? Wow. Knight out, bishop out. This is looking great development for Subham, who is actually currently paired. Okay, queen check, probably. Subham? Oh, did you miss the... It was mate in 2. So good. Anyways, Subham missed it. My OTB USCF is about 1900. I don't have any OTB plans currently, like scheduled, no. But I will say that I would like to play more for whatever that's worth. I live in the St. Louis area. There's always some tournaments here and there. I tried playing in the Blitz last Saturday, but it was canceled because there was another event. So maybe on Friday I could do one of the quads. Not tomorrow, and also not this Saturday because I'm busy. I'm going to be busy for quite a few Saturdays and some Fridays as well. But those would be the days to play in the tournaments. Yeah, Subham, you missed mate in 2, man, and the time really adds up. It's going to cost you. You know, time is limited. You get the resigns here maybe sooner. But Subham at 17 points. He's putting ASU on the map. He's trying to get at least 70 points. Hello, Oak Artemis. How's it going? When I play, do I broadcast my game on the stream? So I've only played in a handful of tournaments since I ever started streaming, and the reality is I have never streamed any of my OTB games. I have only done review afterwards. So there's the truth. All right. Subam wasn't lying. He isn't getting paired. But this game might end soon, and Subam might get paired against one of these players. I'm doing well as well, Oak Artemis. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. Always good to see ya. Spelling checker. Pushing pawns by the king. You're very tired. Sleep well. Thanks for being here. King stepping up. Black has connect 4. Fun fact. No, I think I'm going to sleep after this too. Okay, Subam got paired with no Lexnol. Rook to the H-file. At some point, we may consider sacrificing. But at what point would that be? 'Tis the question. Under a minute for both sides. Eval bar slowly but surely creeping its way upwards. And this was a major blunder. This was a counter blunder. This is a blunder because this queen is no longer defended, which means that this pawn is now pinned, which means white could have taken the rook, which they did not. And so now black pushes back, and now it hates this move. And why? I couldn't tell you. What did it want? I don't know. Yeah, probably double rooks on the h-file. I don't know why they didn't do that. En passant, our favorite. Rook's doubled on the g-file. Trying to make a breakthrough. The king's kind of in the way. Ooh, bishop to b2 now? No? What is the computer thing? Okay, just moving the king aside. So this pawn is hit 3 times. And it's defended 3 times. But only 5 seconds for black. And now the bishop crashes through. Very nicely done here for spelling checker. En passant is forced. En passant was played. All right, Nolexnol versus Subam. This is 2 college ambassadors. Shout out to the college ambassador program. So that was the other thing I'm working on that I didn't get to quite just yet. I had mentioned, is this a trapped queen, by the way? I think it is. That's not good. In fact, for white, I would go as far as to say that it's bad. Yep. So the queen finally gives itself up for the rook, getting the most. But of course, completely winning for Subam. When will Subam have a worthy opponent? Maybe not in this tournament. Maybe not in this lifetime. I love this move. But maybe we start with this move. This is a little passive, but it checks out. It does a thing. Opens up for black's rook as well. The one downside of winning a queen is that you lose a rook. So Subam probably happy overall, but maybe slightly annoyed that they're down a rook. I would be too. but I'd be happy to be up a queen. And ultimately, Subum is winning. And there goes that rook. Rook lift, maybe. Along the F file. No. Doubled queen and rook combo. Keeping an eye on that humble B7 pawn. FIDE changed their site layout to what? Okay, here's the killer blow. Bishop to F3. Threatening? What exactly? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't threaten anything, actually. Takes. Okay, I guess it threatened to take on G2. So. Queen stepped up, and now there's a major threat. Bishop back, queen here, gets the job done. And I don't see how white stops it. I need more than coffee, dude. I need a nap. I need a full night's rest. You know what they say, cup of joe or sleepy joe. One counteracts the other. But yeah, I've had over 60 emails that I'm not even managing sent about the India College Chess Championship. But the main thing that I'm working on that's keeping me up at night, it's the college ambassador program. Because we've been doing emails announcing that we have a survey that ambassadors need to be filling out. And about half of them did, but the other half did not. And the program was over 500 ambassadors. So you could imagine trying to Discord DM over 200 ambassadors is quite the task. Okay. White is throwing the kitchen sink, so to speak. There's a check, and it's going to be mate in at least 2 moves. No, they didn't block with the bishop, so my apologies. It was not mate in... It was mate in 1 after the king moved. I thought they would try to delay even further. Okay, Subum up against the strategic master from South Africa. Hello, Nifa. Good to see you. How's it going? Shout out to Nifa. Great moderator. And viewer. Some would even call a friend. Like it's Jeopardy? Daddy, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Also, Oak Artemis as well. Ooh, Greek gift. Always love giving gifts. That's a bishop sacrifice with check, followed by a knight check. Now, where does the king go? This is a big question. And what will be the answer? Where does this king have to go? Can the king go backwards? The king does not go backwards. Instead, goes forwards, where now the queen joins, says hello. There's a possibility for en passant, but you could also not play en passant. That is an option, regardless of what the people tell you. Subum probably shouldn't be listening, by the way, in case you are. Wait, en passant isn't 4? No, apparently not. Queen h4 was just played. And resigns. Nice. Nice, quick and easy game there for Asish, the national master panda. Did I? Always love me a good Greek gift sacrifice for sure. So you're up to 25 points now. And the significance of that, you're like a third of the way to guaranteeing some membership prizes. Your club will be very happy with you. I think you already have some to gift out from last summer. What was the right king move? That's a good question. Now, right or wrong, a lot of times doesn't quite work in chess, but the best is to go back to g8. It's not very good. Queen h5 is played nonetheless, threatening mate. You have to move your rook away so your king can run, but then you're going to lose your f pawn with check, and you're getting checked on the h file again. And then probably at some point they stop checking you and they try to bring in more pieces to the attack, which is kind of rude when you're trying not to get checkmated when you're playing a game of chess. So anyways, the H file has been opened. Knight comes out. Bishop looking for a trade. And now the white queen comes out, attacking the b pawn. But black trades bishops first, and now queen to c8. This is a nice move. Guarding the b pawn, but also threatening queen to h3. Okay, knight's offering a trade. Keeping the black queen at bay for now, at least. But there is a check. Okay, so scratch that. The queen comes in with check, but the king steps aside. There's more checks. But watch out for your b pawn, I must say, and your c pawn, actually, for that matter. Bringing the queen back might be the best move. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, maybe you can get away with the knight check, but I don't think so. I don't know. I had an idea, but it wasn't very good. But we'll see what the Subum comes up with here. Trade of knights, of course. Now, queen takes b7 maybe was a move. But instead the queen just takes back, and that allows the knight to come out, blocking the queen. So, and the queen steps back kind of awkwardly here. And yeah, that allows for black to now get castled. This also hangs the f pawn. But black did not care. And now rook comes to the defense of the h pawn. Black develops their last minor piece, connecting the rooks. Kind of begging white to take on f7, but that would be pretty bad. Yul Bongcloud Subum. Okay. Sounds fair. Hopefully we see it. I see Silva with a 3 out of 3. Not nearly as good as Subum's 7 out of 7. Ooh, we see a big sacrifice. I'm sure you're taking this too, right? The answer is yes. Takes. Check, yes. King steps up, only move. Rook check. Ooh, king in the corner. That's not very good. That's checkmate. Yeah. Not that it's in the corner, but kind of created one for themselves in the center of the board. Okay, but yeah, talking about the college ambassador program, for those of you that don't know about it, !CAP. Essentially, we're giving out free memberships and free merch to U.S. schools. Memberships are available to international schools as well. So there's free stuff for everyone, which is always one of my favorite things to do. Collegiate Chess League as well gives out $50,000 in cash prizes every school year. So that's exciting. Okay, black's already carving a path forward. Ooh, bishop takes. Nice. And now, interestingly, yeah, there's a fork in the position. There you have it. Voila. Beautiful, beautiful fork there from Subum. Very nicely played. And Subum has more time than they've started with. 5 minutes and 9 seconds, which is a true sign of a fast player. Fast and good, nonetheless. Now we've got Silva. All this talk, Silva. I'm already watching you. I heard ya. I'll see it. There it is. King E7. The Bong Cloud. So how does Subum react? By pawn storming the center, which checks out. I went on a hike over the weekend. This is my professional college chess commentary here. I went for a hike and I'm pretty sure poison ivy. So now my legs are very itchy. Oh, that's not great bedside manners, Silva. Let's try not to be rude in the game chat. D5 hitting the board. And yeah, no castling rights for black. We're up to 48 players. I'm wondering if we can hit 50 would be nice. We do have 50 minutes to go. Silva putting the pieces, setting back up for the next game. Bishop back to c8, and now the bishop is pinned. I've been told the saying in chess, pin it to win it. It's a famous one. All right, so now we see a breakthrough here for the white pieces. Yeah, Subum just doubling up here. It's pretty good. You can take on c6. You can also triple up. That's exactly what Subum does. Rook comes over to help try and defend just ever so slightly. What's white's next move? Yep, taking the pawn. And now you're really crashing through on this knight. And this is why you shouldn't Bong Cloud, folks. It's not good for you. Even if you have a prescription. No, I'm just kidding. Who's prescribing chess Bong Clouds? There was a Bong Cloud chess set at the St. Louis Chess Club. I went to the gift shop. And some of you might have seen it during the Anna Cramling tour where she visited St. Louis World Chess Hall of Fame. Interestingly, when we were there, just like last month, Pia Cramling visited the World Chess Hall of Fame for the first time and was able to sort of give like a history lesson of all the different players that she had met and played against. And it was also really cool seeing them with Yasser, who apparently had met Anna Cramling when she was about 2 years old. So this was a 20-year reunion in the making. Yeah, GG to Silva. Rough game there. All right, Rook of Sisyphus, our Oregon State ambassador. Oregon State versus Arizona State. Hate titles, but you're saying it sucks to play against an 800. So I guess you like it in the middle. You're like You're like Goldilocks, right? Not too hot, not too cold, but just right. All right, this position, I'm a little intrigued. I like this move, rook to e1. And now I'm thinking for rook of Sisyphus, if we could take advantage, but no, trading I think was a little too soon, I'd say. I liked maintaining the pin and then moving the knight. So all is well that ends well. Looks like black is happy with this structure. Connect 4 right there in the center. Bishop versus knight. Queen stepping up. Also lending some defense over the f2 square. That pawn now is hit by 2 of black's pieces. Defended twice. Subum now at a streak of 10. That is an adoption, as they call it in chess. Rook lift for both sides. Silva is in second, but just lost their streak. Spelling Checker is in third. Fellow teammate of Rook of Sisyphus. All right, black has gotten all their pieces involved. A good sign. Doubling now their rooks. Pressure on f2. White gets their other rook into the game. Rook to h6 now. That's threatening ye old checkmate. Rook over, and that is a blunder because the bishop was there. Takes, and now the game is over. Well, the game continues, but not for very much longer. The queen trying to sneak her way in there. No time really to save your rook. I don't think. Yeah, it just resigns. Subum. The onslaught continues. No end in sight. He's up to 41 points. He's trying to break 70. And he's only halfway through the arena at 41. So if he's on pace, he should finish in the top 10. Unless some of those other schools join and start getting points themselves. But yeah, I don't see them joining though. But yeah, I want to see Subum versus Spelling Checker. The 2 titled players. Neither of them have lost yet, but Subum's just playing much faster. He's getting much faster wins. 11 out of 11. And probably won't lose. So, Subum trying to get the top 10 prize for 10 diamond memberships, which honestly is pretty good value. I don't know how much they're worth, but he'd be getting it in a 90-minute time span, which is not bad. Also, I should just stop scratching my legs. I don't know if I have the willpower. There was another Houston guy, yes. So you can rest assured your friend didn't lie to you. You can check the standings too. Is it SK from Nepal? SK0462. Oh, there's also the Great One. Shout out to the Great One 356. So Houston has reinforcements. How's Houston in the standings, actually? Chess at UH. You guys are tied for 12th. And you didn't get top 10. So you could do it. I think you could. You got to pass 70 points. So I'm surprised Appalachian State isn't showing up as much. Or Queens College for that matter. Honestly, I didn't send the email. Maybe that's my problem. I only sent the Discord announcement. So my apologies to anyone that is familiar with the email reminders. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing these arenas same time, same day every week, Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, for the last month of the summer season. So, anyways, this is a sneaky threat here, I believe. I think. I mean, Subam's gonna do it. They're gonna see it. I mean, they went here for a purpose, right? It's a very interesting position, though. Colton, 1860, almost. Well, I guess just within 1,000 elo of the great Subam. Okay, Subam doesn't go for it, interestingly. Instead plays d4, defending the knight. I'm actually curious, why not pawn takes? That's what I would do as black. But what do I know? What do I know? It's a good question. So Silva, did your friend join? Which friend was it? Also, shout out to everyone for not only playing and watching, but also telling your friends about it, getting the club involved. Oregon State having some new players that we haven't seen before. That's exciting. Wow. So pawn takes. That's the move I would do as black. But I actually saw why. Well, I personally didn't see it. The computer saw why it was not good. Now, knight takes f7 is a move that I thought should have been played earlier, but it wasn't. I have to say to myself, Yeah, either knight to f6, defending mate, and hitting the queen at the same time. So, very interesting position Subam's got himself into. A bit of a pickle, I would call it. And not a Clausen pickle. This is a bad pickle. Clausens are good pickles. Which brings me to my question, what is a bad pickle, actually? I don't know. But I'm not a big fan of those sweet pickles. I like Clausen, though. Anyways, knight h6 check. That damages black's pawn structure, but it loses the knight. So, Subam not playing his best game right here against Colton, who is definitely a stronger player. We could potentially see an upset here, but look at the time difference. 1 minute to 4 minutes. That could be a major factor, and it could be what Subam's banking this position off of. So we see the bishop coming out to d6, trading here, curiously. Taking a knight, right? Offering a queen trade here. You pretty much have to decline that. Now, the e-pawn's been hanging for a while. Yeah, Subam takes now on c3. Takes on c3 again. Bishop goes to the main diagonal. Hey, Love Bomb, how's it going? Nifa, also 20 minutes ago. Thanks for the follow. If you're still here, Nifa, appreciate you as always. Major follow there for sure. All right, rook's centered up for white. Black now down to 30 seconds. Black is up a piece. Up a knight. It's a bishop pair versus a bishop and 2 knights. But less than 20 seconds for Colton. Can they do it, chat? Do we believe in Colton? Any believers with 10 seconds? 13 seconds? There is 2-second increment. But Subham's going to fight tooth and nail here to keep his streak alive. He needs as many points as possible if he's to get in the top 10 leaderboard. 11 seconds. Pushing the outside pawn. Trying to threaten the bishop. What just happened here, folks? What just happened? Rook lift for white. Black's trying to play a4. Bishop takes d5. So giving up the bishop pair for one of the knights. Bishop takes, or knight takes. And now rook to g4, threatening discoveries. What's the next move here, folks? I have an idea. Bishop to h6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen. Rook takes. King takes. Queen d8. And that's mate. Colton up a piece, getting mated by back rank. Way of bishop on h6. So, very close game. Just too much time pressure. Maybe I should go back and look at what could have been done differently. So bishop h6 was not the move. It wanted rook e5 or e4. Or rook d1. I think attacking the knight makes a lot of sense because we want to play bishop f6. But here, now it likes the move rook to c4. Pinning the rook on g4 to white's queen. Yeah, that was not your best game, Subham, but that's okay because you got the job done and you're moving on to the next one. So, short-term memory. That being said, ASU, they're in the lead. Technically trailing CCL by 1 point, but at a similar technicality, CCL doesn't count towards prizes. I see OSU. So we got the state schools leading the way. West Coast state schools, to be precise. Both former Pac-12. Arizona State and Oregon State. The Sun Devils and the Beavers, respectively. And yeah, Subham breaking on through already here. And we see a mistake. So it's interesting, actually. The sacrifice is not so good. Why? Because the move knight from B to D2, you just gotta keep bringing your minor pieces out. Instead, going here, blundering knight to G4. Threatening checkmate in 2 moves. Now, if captures, pawn takes, this is going to be a forced mate now. Pawn push. Let's see how Subham wants to close this one out. Queen G3 check. 1 legal move. Subham's got it pre-moved. And it's mate next no matter what. Queen to G2. or queen to f2, or rook to f2 even. There were 3 mate in ones, and Subum gets one of them with more time on his clock than he started with. Classic Subum. So Subum now is up to 13 out of 13. Now putting ASU on top. And 30 minutes remaining. So a third of the arena remaining. Is Subum going to get past 70? 70 is the magic number he needs to pass, I think, Appalachian State. This is just the Subum arena at this point. We're only watching Subum. Only watching the Panda. All right, already a rook lift. This is aggressive chess 101. Developing the knight, that's kind of interesting. I would have maybe assumed like c5. So, okay. King in the corner now. The e-pawn is free to push. And I think it's a good push. But I could be wrong. Because maybe e5 allows for d5. No. Subum played it, so it has to be good. Although I did recommend it, so maybe it's bad. The point disparity is crazy. Subum has 49, and the next best player is Silva with 18. And then Spelling Checker with 13. Yeah, d5 played. Knight goes back to the back rank. The c-pawn was hanging. So white continues and pushes again. Hits the queen here. Queen gets to the back rank. Doubled on the f-file, interestingly. And now rook to d1. Black is hesitant to castle. Bishop comes out to e6, pinning the knight to the queen. And yeah, bishop develops, does not hang the pawn. I was just going to say because of the knight on d8. Usually people call it the sniper bishop. Well, this was a sniper knight, and we see resignation. So no Lex Null, one of our ambassadors, getting paired with a Siege Panda again, losing again. Panda now 14 out of 14, playing against the Mona Lisa. So this is a stronger opponent here from Witwatersrand from South Africa. 2183. We saw Panda almost lose to an 1800. But time pressure brought it back in Panda's favor. But now can the 2100 get the job done against the 2700? Tune in and find out here in the next 10 minutes. We'll see a result to this game. Maybe it could last longer, but most of Panda's games have been pretty short, actually. His game against the 1800 did go the distance. As far as time goes, they were both in time pressure, I think, at the end. But, yeah, less than 30 minutes to go. Panda's about 20 points from the goal of 70 to try to break it into the top 10 for Arizona State University, the Sun Devils, down in Phoenix, Arizona. Not to be confused with University of Arizona, the Wildcats. Okay, knight to e5. Yeah, an interesting rook move from the Panda. Rook lift, but now the knight is like perfectly placed on e5. Pawn hits the rook. Rook has to either go back or a fan favorite move here, en passant. But if you en passant, you're kind of inviting a lot of black pieces in. So we see exactly that, the rook coming back, not forcing the en passant. And now here, black's just offering a queen trade. interestingly to me. Now, do we accept or do we decline? These are the tough questions we must ask ourselves. And it turns out Subam does not want to trade queens. He says, I will keep my queen on the board. And now, black continues the attack, pushing a pawn in front of the king, trying to get to this white king. The white king steps off the g-file. The idea being that the bishop is no longer pinned, and now the queen steps off the g-file, perhaps in fear. Fear of the rook and the bishop discovery. Here we go. Bishop hits the queen. Rook opens up. Knight takes with check. White takes back. And now there's a lot of threats. King also leaves the g-file. We were threatening to crash through, I believe, on g5, and we do it nonetheless. I like this. You're going to get 3 pawns in front of the black king, plus a tempo on the queen, plus the activity. You can double your pieces here. Rook a to g1, I expect. That's exactly what gets played. Making sure the rook's defended. And now what? It's a good question. And now what? I wonder if we can go to Sacktown. Again, actually. No, just knight check. Alright. King back, of course. What else? Queen steps up. This is very interesting. Kind of a self-pen, if you think about it. But the queen wants access on the diagonal, clearly. Also, this kind of helps protect our king a little bit, because the obvious move would have been to capture the bishop, and just knight takes bishop is kind of the first thing I'm calculating. And of course, the black king could recapture, but there's also this nice idea giving the queen intermediate to d6 check. And here we go. Eval bar skyrockets. Knight hitting the queen. Wow. Bota's Gambit. Forgotten about by the Mona Lisa. What was so crazy about this? So here you need to play queen to d6. Here knight to g6. Also, I guess, is really strong. Knight g4. Queen e6 was needed. Yeah. Just trading everything down. Really smooth. This is going to be a nice conversion here for white in this winning game. Trades once, checks twice. No, I lied about the second check. It was just one check. But where one check comes, another one usually follows. Checks like to come in pairs. I usually say blunders always come in pairs. But this time, white did not really blunder. So, check takes the rook, and I think I think queen takes would have been nice, but where's our ladder mate? Subam pre-moving, making his way downtown. Ooh, very interesting. Queen mate. All right, Subam improving to 15 out of 15. That's 57 points. 13 away. It's going to be a real buzzer beater. Oh, playing against Jacob from Syracuse. One of our ambassadors. Syracuse has been doing really well over the summer season. They've been really consistently in the top 10. Definitely a shoo-in for some membership prizes. Currently sitting at 4th place going into today. And in this arena, they are in 8th place. Which, as long as you're in the top 10, you're getting points. You're going to get a membership prize. If you're already in the top 10 and then you finish today in the top 10, you're guaranteed some membership prizes. So that's nice. Oh, this is not so good. Or is it? I don't know. There goes a pawn. Yeah, the players are playing pretty fast. Rook doubled now. I don't know how good this is really, but yeah, now the rook's okay. Queen takes h2, I would have considered. Or this, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, rook just comes straight back. Okay. Yeah, and again, over 5 minutes for Subham. Subham needs some... yeah, why not just take on h2, though, is my question. Yeah, just h4. The knight cannot move unless you're okay with losing your queen. You can ignore this. Exactly. Rook to the back rank. We could see resign soon. Wow, taking the knight. We're going to lose a pawn there. Not that it ever matters. There's one check. There goes a pawn. Now black has a connected pass pawn, which it's getting pushed. Check. Guarding the pawn's push. Bishop's going to have to give itself up, but no. The king says, I'm just going to walk on in. I'm not even going to push my pawn. Uh-oh. Mate on b2. Pre-moved. And mate. There you go. Subham. 16 in a row. 20 minutes to go. And I think Subham's going to break the top 10 for sure. Single-handedly in just one tournament. Very interesting technique. I think... I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we make the multi-club arenas throughout the whole year? Do you think there'd be enough interest? I don't know. Maybe during the school year it'd be more popular. But over the summer, a lot of people are kind of out and about. But we are promoting the CCL season coming up, you guys. It's not officially announced yet, but I'm giving you all a little sneak peek preview. The Collegiate Chess League, Fall 2025, coming to a theater near you. It will be announced in the next week or two. So be sure to tune in. Check out our Discord server. That's where you're going to catch all of our announcements. I think Subham had that pre-moved. So Subham up a pawn. I'm wondering... Oh, giving up the pawn. Oh, but not taking it. I wonder if black could have played rook to d8 and won something. I don't know. They're doing it now, but I think it's too late. Yeah, because pawn push. So, queen steps up, guarding the e-pawn. Logically. Now white brings both their rooks in. Honestly, I like this position for white. But we do have to respect the long diagonal bishop. So, ooh, ladies and gentlemen, that f pawn is hanging. No, white's going after f7. But there's a problem with this move, you guys. Honestly, I was very tempted to do this as well. But yeah, it's brutal seeing Subum get away with it. He can't keep getting away with it, dude. He's getting rewarded for his poor play. This wouldn't fly against another 2700, I don't think. But what do I know? I've never been 2700, so I don't know what that's like. What's that like, Subum? All right, Subum clearly going for a queen trade. Clearly. Ah, yes. Again, he's going to get rewarded. Oh, pawn push. Very interesting pawn push. But okay. He's going to go for the queen trade. Subum, why not queen f8 to f5? What was wrong with that? You didn't want, I guess bishop takes on g2, huh? I guess, but I don't know. Was it that bad? Okay, rook cutting off the king. I love this. Great technique here from the national master. From the Sun Devil. 16 minutes. It's actually going to be close. It depends if Subum's opponents play out their entire game. Rook here is a weird choice for sure. Why? I mean, why? Why not just play rook? Oh my goodness. The old self-made. That was helpful at least. All right, Subum's at 65. At this point, I think it's pretty safe he's going to get it. But I could have just commentator cursed him. 15 minutes to go. I think he needs like 1 or 2 more wins. At least 1 more win. And I think a second win for insurance. Now, it's never guaranteed that Subum could win 1 on demand. I think this one he could win on demand. I will say this, though. Obi the Cone he's playing against. Obi might not even make a move. So scared. Honestly, I don't blame you. I feel the same. What school is Obi? Yeah, look at that. That's as good of a win as you're going to get. A 0-move win. I see Llama Hawk, Master of Sleep. And here we go. Subum against Gavin. 14 minutes. Subum's at 69. So he needs at least 1 more win. Unless I'm mistaken. McGill has 69 points, but McGill is also playing today. McGill has Gene, who has 9 points at least. So McGill is at least at 78 total points. Maybe more. Suko has a point. So what is that? 79 points. But yeah, I don't think Appalachian State or Queens College or Unit Passau are playing. I don't think Subum's gonna pass Uni Passau. Maybe he will. They're at 84 points. But once you're in the top 10, it doesn't really matter. Unless I'm forgetting, like, there's possible other clubs that could be competing to get into this top spots. So Chess UT has 25 points going in, and they have 34 now. That's not really going to be enough for them to make top 10. It's kind of a problem. How many would they need? They would need like 50. I don't think they could do it in 13 minutes. Unless they can get 60 or 16 points. They do have 2 players. Could they each get 8 points? I don't think so. Thibault is not in on streak. Okay. Looks like Subom's back to work as per usual. A4, nice. Ooh, I like this move. Threatening the back rank. But now, okay, the rook is hit. That's smart. There's a check. We're blundering the B pawn, but we're going to get some other stuff. Most definitely. Yeah, the A pawn pushes home. For sure. Knight maybe trying to stir up some trouble. Perhaps. Could it be true? Nice defensive move here. Bishop coming back, trying to get to F2. Making sure that Black's pieces don't coordinate on G2 after knight E3. So Gavin's trying, but Subom is trying harder. Maybe. Maybe not, actually. Maybe Subom's not trying at all. I didn't consider that, actually. So, anyways. That A pawn is what we like to call a problem. That is going to be a problem. That A pawn isn't even a pawn, really. That's just a guaranteed free piece. And there you go. You see it getting cashed out. Right there. The rook comes back home. Trying not to allow any back rank check shenanigans. So we're just up a rook, which is pretty good. Rooks are pretty good. So yeah, and he's up on time. Not super important, but always nice. Rooks doubled is very interesting. Very interesting. There's a check. King moves. Rook coming over, looking for another check. I think we're going to get it. There you have it. And now you're going to win the G pawn. Rook takes is probably pre-moved. Or no. You don't want to pre-move because, yeah, that's mate. Exactly. Was just going to say. So with that, I believe Subom is officially in the top 10. Surpassing Appalachian State and tying Queens College. Now, does he keep going? I think you do for some insurance. And here we go. He's up against Blackhawk again. Club leader for Northern Illinois University. Did Subom play against Checker? I don't know. Checker is a perfect 7 out of 7. Meanwhile, Silva has dropped out of top 3. We've got Austin from NIU. So NIU is doing really well. They came in today at 3rd. And I think they're going to improve to probably 1st overall. Unless Wits holds on. How far ahead was Wits over NIU? Like 40 points? Okay, I think Wits is going to keep their 1st spot because NIU is not 40 points ahead of them. You don't know what's wrong with you? Are you bond clouding? Is that what's wrong? That could be a problem. But yeah, you don't want to get tilted. That's for sure. Tilt can make you do some silly things. Okay, what did the computer like so much? What did I miss? The move is knight to d5. That's a real fancy one. Or e5 it likes as well. Or just d5. e5, d5, or knight d5. All very exciting moves for sure. So, let's see. e5, pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, pawn takes, queen to h4, attack on the knight. The f pawn is pinned, by the way. So the knight moves, knight to d5, and now we're threatening knight to e7 check. Hey, cute cat. Yeah, Subham said, oh, top 10 membership prizes? Okay, bet. That's what he said. Don't take this, by the way. Don't take the bait. What's the all-time record? I don't know. I'm playing rook c1 here. Okay, maybe you couldn't. Because of the bishop? I don't know. Yeah, rook here is very smart. Yeah, rook takes is very smart. The idea is that if queen takes rook, we have knight forktown, royal family fork. So that is what we call a free knight in the business. Now, if black takes white's knight here, intermezzo, then we'll take back with probably the bishop, which is lining up all sorts of fun stuff. So that's just a free piece. Wow, it takes with pawn. So we have a passed pawn. But yeah, I mean, rook takes, maybe there wasn't that many good rook discoveries. I don't know. But maybe, yeah, bishop, actually, it's not the discoveries of the rook. It's we're threatening queen takes. That's why he's pushing. Rook here, I think, would have been a move. King here, I guess, checks out. Rook here is pretty mean of a move. Maybe here, probably not going to be good. Because you could just take that, I guess. But then maybe you take that, I guess. Then we take that, and I mean, I don't know. There's too much going on. But yeah, not a good position. Also, rook here, there's just bishop takes, even. All right, so Subham wins. Adding on, I don't think he's going to get another game in. But 77, he's won. He's gotten to top 10 with a game to spare, it seems. He's playing Austin now. Maybe they'll do an early draw offer or something. But Austin's 9 out of 10, which is pretty good. Eight in a row. Yeah, Spelling Checker never got a match against Subham. It's kind of sad. How do I know top 10 record but not overall? No, I know both, I guess. Or I mean, I have the Google sheet, the public roster list with the previous 4 tournaments added up. But I have to add up the current tournament to the previous 4 weeks before I know the total overall, I guess. And also we do fair play checks on these arenas as well, so I can't just add it immediately. I have to wait a little bit, I guess. Okay, Austin. I mean, both players could stall out this game at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see a draw offer, perhaps. 70 is a top 10 all-time score. No, just for this summer season. 70 points is good for top 10. Well, yeah, because whose spot did Subum take then? So McGill is in. Appalachian State is out because they have 70. Queens College has 73. If like one person from Appalachian State joined and played, maybe. You got University of Rochester in there. Wilfrid Laurier. Do I feel bad for Appalachian State? A little bit. Because I didn't email. But I don't know. I announced on Discord. I know they have some people on Discord. They saw it probably. They just probably couldn't play. That is sad though. They'll miss out on memberships by like 3 points. Maybe I'll give them something for 11th, just because I feel bad. Maybe. You never know these days what I could be doing, what I'm capable of. Perhaps. Anyhow. All right, here I know what Austin should play. That's exactly what they should do. And now this is exactly what Subum should do. This was a really nice response. Essentially, White's move prevented Black from bringing their rook to f8, but this move is going to prevent White from keeping their rook on f1, which means after the rook moves, assuming you don't want to give up the exchange, then Black's rook is going to hit the f-file with the tempo against White's queen. So all this is really well played. Great move by Black. And we see the rook move. We see the rook come in, hitting with the tempo. Queen trade offered and declined. This is mate, by the way. But also, there's less than a minute left in the tournament. So the odds of this game finishing are low. Unless we see a mate blundered in 1 or 2, which we don't. However, we could still see some pretty quick draw offers. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference for either team because they've both made top 10. That being said, Austin now is in 3rd place, 1 point behind GM Yamp from LCM Toro, who has 7 in a row with 32 points. So, individually, perhaps we'll see Austin try to get that extra point to tie or pass GM Yamp. But with 2 seconds, 1 second left, this game is going to be aborted, and this arena and the summer season is now over. We got all the way up to 49 players, interestingly, 1 shy of 50. But congratulations to everyone that played, especially to Subum. You could have won that, Silva. That's just how she goes. That's how it works. Yeah, congrats again to Subum, 1st place overall. Leading Arizona State to 1st place. Put the team on his back. Really, there wasn't even a team. It was just him. 777 with the 77. 20 wins in a row. 20 for 20. 2020. That was a crazy year, but also good eyesight. And Subum definitely had his vision working for him today. Unless he played blindfolded, which I wouldn't put it past him. But, yeah, a double adoption. Very well played by Subum, getting a nice end to the summer season. So putting Arizona State in the top 10 overall. But here today we've got GM Yamp in 2nd, Austin in 3rd, Spelling Checker in 4th. Also had a perfect tournament, 8 out of 8. But never got paired against Subum and didn't play as many games as Subum. Subum played a lot of games. You've got Gavin in 5th, Silva in 6th, Thibault and Menac from France in 7th and 8th. the Mona Lisa in ninth, and Blackhawk in 10th. So let's look at the club standings. Of course, ASU in the first place. And then you've got the Northern Illinois University in second. Chess at Oregon State, the Beavers in third. Chess at Houston in fourth. LCM Toro in fifth. Wits in sixth. Chess UT in seventh. Syracuse in eighth. Kathmandu in ninth. And McGill in 10th. So shout out to all the other schools that played. Looks like we had 16 total schools represented in points this tournament. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This is the end of the summer season. So there's a couple prizes I still have to award for Team Chess Battle. And of course, we're going to be giving out membership prizes for these arenas, both top 5 from every week, as well as top 10 cumulatively after a final round of fair play checks. I'll be sure to reach out over Discord and let team captains know how many memberships they've won. Meanwhile, I'm going to head out and send you all off on a raid. Stay tuned because we will be giving out some merch for the U.S. ambassadors. I'm going to send out an announcement to you, as well as announcing to everyone the Collegiate Chess League Fall 2025 season. So please be sure to stay tuned for those announcements. What's up, Klein Bottle? Good to see you. Thank you, Dog Cat Dinosaur. Congrats again to you and your team. Appreciate you guys playing. Hope you all had fun. And I will see you back probably on my own personal streams, but on the Collegiate Chess League, we're going to be broadcasting in September for the start of the fall season. So hopefully we're going to see a very successful registration process. I'm hoping to break a record. We had over 400 teams compete before, over 30 countries competing before, and I'm hoping that college chess is going to continue to grow and continue to break records every season. So hopefully we'll have more and more schools, teams, players, countries joining and competing. So please be ready. The announcement will be out in a week or two, so later this month, and I hope to see all the clubs and teams ready. It's going to be another exciting tournament. So I will see you all later. Thanks again, everyone. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Stick around for the raid. Let's find someone. I'll see y'all later. Bye.